We got some Casey Kasem from 1973 on the radio this morning, going out the lighthouse door at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday, August 16th, and it is the 7th nice Saturday in a row. Do you concur, T-Rex? The quiet T-Rex. I concur. And there's no rain in the bucket here. However, your hand gets soaked if you run it in the dew. The temperature cooled to the dew point last night in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. The regional roundup this morning at 6:30 a.m. It was 43 degrees in Whitefield, New Hampshire. Wasn't it just 97 like 2 days ago? 3 days ago. And the warm spot this morning was Provincetown, Massachusetts at 66 with a dew point of 66. So there is some humidity coming back in after yesterday's dry. High pressure system came in. Oh, we break for sky shots. I'm going to come over this way so we can get a better kind of perspective and texture looking up at some pretty interesting clouds, actually. They're higher level clouds than I expected. And that's called the waning. It's almost on the border from gibbous to crescent sturgeon moon. The new corn moon is next Saturday, and the tides are running pretty high ahead of that next moon, and we're going to have an onshore flow and a hurricane going by 300-400 miles away. So it'll be interesting at the ocean, and there's some pretty big changes in next week's forecast according to the Euro. So I'm looking closer at these clouds. They look a little bit like altocumulus castellanus, a little bit at mid-level instability and moisture available for a scattered shower or a thunderstorm, especially around Connecticut. This morning, the satellite imagery shows some stratocumulus over Connecticut, and just west of Connecticut, there is a towering cumulus with a few raindrops there it looks like about 30-40 miles west of Connecticut this morning. I don't know. I was trying to think of the name of a town over there. I know White Plains. Yeah, White Plains, New York, right? And otherwise, New England is mostly clear. And what a beautiful day. This starting on July 5th. We've had a streak of wonderful Saturdays. And we've had a series of fronts on the weekends that have built mostly on Sunday. And that's going to happen again this week. And there is a warm front coming at us tomorrow. This morning, we analyzed the map. It doesn't really show up as a warm front, but warm front today, cold front tomorrow. There's a 23 high pressure system to the east of New England. So that means a light onshore flow today. So at the beaches, 70s to low 80s, inland 80s to near 90, and the humidity is coming back up. Oh, birds. What were those? Those look like brant geese. I was not close enough to zoom. Why don't we zoom over this way? I've got my noise canceling mic, so when I zoom in, it doesn't change the audio at all. And I can actually speak more quietly. So the atmosphere did decouple last night. That's when you get the light wind and clear sky, radiational cooling, making it so comfortable this morning. Looks like there may be a little smoke in the sky over there and some thicker cumulus clouds. But overall, looking like quite a nice day here on Cape Cod and in most of New England. But we are going to play that rainfall lottery again, especially west in Connecticut today and then north to south tomorrow night. National radar shows an incredible complex of thunderstorms there in South Dakota and Minnesota. It doesn't show up, the warnings aren't showing up on WeatherTap. I don't know why, but there was a severe thunderstorm warning over southwestern Minnesota this morning that was about the size of Connecticut. So some real heavy weather out there, and some storm reports coming in with large hail and flooding from parts of Colorado up to Minnesota, and that's the northern edge of some expanding heat. And that heat's going to try and expand at us, but a new batch of air from Canada is going to come our way. There's the national advisories, watches, and warnings, and you can make out some of that severe weather there in southern Minnesota on the north side of this heat advisory that extends from Iowa down to Mississippi with temperatures in the 90s, and that heat coming at New England. And at the same time, there's a new cold front coming at New England, so that's going to produce thunderstorms here tomorrow for the most part. But there are some scattered showers and storms today. Why don't we look at that on the NAM high res? And I'm just going to show the QPF again because the specs, when I show the precipitation where and when, they're just too small. But when you show it as it adds up, this is how much rain falls today, just a couple of little spots in Connecticut and I think in Maine. And then tonight, not much going on. Then tomorrow, here comes the front from north to south, perhaps some downpours and maybe an isolated severe storm, but it's coming in kind of early in the day in northern New England. Then by late in the day, it tries to hold together there right into the Boston area at about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So most of tomorrow should be dry in southern New England. And this goes out now till 2 p.m. on Monday. And if you add it all up, there's the purple blob lottery. We call it the H2O lottery. And there's a little bit of color there right near Boston. So we're picking away at the very dry weather, and a few of those purple spots indicate that there may be 1 to 2 inch rainfall amounts between now and Monday at 2 p.m. And Monday is going to turn cooler and drier again as there's going to be another high pressure system coming in at us. So should we shift gears now? No, not yet. Not to the tropics just yet. I want to show the meteogram for Manchester, New Hampshire. The red line being the temperature, the blue line being the dew point, and temperature is close to 90 today, in the low 90s tomorrow. The dew point comes up through the 60s to near 70 tomorrow with that shower and a thunderstorm, and then much cooler, dry air comes in tomorrow night and Monday. The air comes in from the north and even northeast, and the dew point now is back down into the upper 30s like it was a couple days ago from Monday. And then here's a big change. Look what happens Tuesday. We were talking about a wave on a front on Tuesday now for several days and how it looked too innocent. Well, now it looks too guilty with rain and temperatures only in the 60s on Wednesday into early Thursday. And that's going to be the time that the Hurricane Erin is going to be going by to our south. So we're going to have an onshore flow. We're not getting a hurricane, but it's going to look like an appendage, if this is correct, with the radar and the satellite imagery when we get to Wednesday and Thursday when Erin goes to the east, well south of Nantucket. This morning, Erin, I'm not getting to Erin yet. Yeah, I am. Okay, yeah, I am. All right, so that's it for that meteogram. And that's a worst case scenario with that rain in the middle of the week if you're planning a vacation this week. I mean, it's been a moving target, but there's going to be something going on around here Tuesday and Wednesday. And then next week tries to turn hot again early next weekend, but then again, another cold front next Sunday. All right, now to Erin. I've been talking about this. Erin increased rapidly in the last 24 hours. It went from a tropical storm of 70 miles an hour to a Category 4 hurricane with central winds sustained at 130 miles an hour and central pressure down to 27.99 inches. It's called rapid intensification, but for now, it's a very tight storm, and it's about 150 miles to the northeast of Anguilla, and the hurricane force winds only extend out from there's a 10-mile wide eye, and the hurricane force winds extend only about 10 to 20 miles to the southwest of the storm. There's the null school wind field. So all the real terrifying winds are now over the ocean. Hopefully all the maritime interests stayed clear of Erin because the forecast has been doing very well with this in the short range especially. I'm having fun with my shadow right now, taking a break from the seriousness and walking over here, and the dew and the grass. Love the dew and the grass. So I'll widen out this satellite imagery and change to the National Hurricane Center. National Hurricane Center says that this little low off of North Carolina has a 10% chance of becoming a tropical cyclone. That would be Nan, but 10% means that there's 90% likely that it is not, but it is a spectacle there. And we did talk about how there could be something tropical developing to the north of Erin when it goes by here early in the week. That's when that tropical system off North Carolina could develop, and then Erin's going to kind of eat it for lunch. It's going to kind of imbibe it on Tuesday into Wednesday, and we can see that now if we shift and start the forecast big picture map with the Euro from pivotalweather.com. And there's our high pressure system moving off with just a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms. Wind from the east-southeast today at the beaches, south-southwest inland at not very strong speeds. It will become more windy tonight as this front comes in from the north, and that is a pretty potent front, another strong high coming out of central Canada, and that front pushing from north to south during the day tomorrow. So southern New England and central New England mostly dry, and then those showers and storms decay right over southern New England tomorrow night. And then on Monday, it's cold air advection. And it will be pretty chilly. Northern Maine could be back down to the 40s and even 30s with that high going north of us. And then as it gets east, we have an onshore flow developing now. Lots of things are going on. The cold front tries to come back as a warm front, and all of a sudden there's a low pressure system on the warm front way north of where it was even 3 days ago. It was pretty far north, and it wasn't even there 2 days ago. But now it looks like it's trying to be a real serious kink in the isobars coming right over us with a strong wave of low pressure coming through here on Wednesday. At the same time, we see Hurricane Erin east of North Carolina, and it almost looked like the rain over New England is a band of rain from Erin, and it's going to be interesting. It's not going to be a band of rain from Erin, but it's going to look like it, and so there's some wiggle room for what's going to go on here. I don't think that the wind is going to be an issue, and there goes Erin, and we're going to stop it now at 5 p.m. on Thursday. It's a little faster. Yesterday we stopped at 8 p.m. on Thursday with the storm going off the map. It's a 950 millibar low, so it's still a major hurricane going pretty close to Bermuda. I think that's just a little bit north of Bermuda, so Bermuda may be getting a pretty close strike with a major hurricane. And here in New England at that time, we have sort of an onshore flow, not much going on. There's another warm front, cold front off to our west, and there's quite the upper level low pressure and troughing developing in central Canada with some cool air that's going to be pressing our way, but it's not going to get in here until next weekend. So here we'll put this back in motion. Erin takes off, and now it is headed back for Iceland and Norway again in the long range, but we're not going to look at that yet. We'll look at that after it goes by. And we have a front coming in next weekend. It looks like it's trying to warm up near 90 on Saturday, and then Sunday, a front right over us, a lot like what's happening this weekend. And then on Monday, the front is still with us, and we stop it at 2 p.m. on Monday, August 26th, I believe, and the front's over us, and there are showers and thunderstorms, and there's a big upper level low pressure system over Canada with lots of cool air and still a lot of hot over the central plains. So the rainfall potential is up. There's some rain in there on that next Sunday, Monday, and also with this Tuesday, Wednesday. Some parts of New England are going to get inches and inches of rain, and it's more widespread than what we've been experiencing with these isolated events the last several days. So plenty to watch, but grateful for a beautiful Saturday here on Cape Cod. It's changeover day at the house, so I'm going to be doing going to be making some beds and cleaning some bathrooms. Yep, and I do have some help with that. And last night, yesterday's and more is going to be, I was so busy editing, and thank you for all the kind comments about having Mitt and Steve and T-Rex and such long edits with orange clouds and the concrete pumper. And anyhow, I tried to make it lighter today, and so I went and visited some old friends. This is just kind of magical how it all developed. Traveling south, I ended up at the Liberty Hall in South Dennis, where a good friend, Sherri, Arsenal Stockdale, wrote a book about poems with her illustrator, Barbara, having passed away right when the book was being completed. So there were fairies in the room, and it was quite special. Good to see all these old friends. I haven't seen Scott in so long, and Mrs. Arsenault and my mom were great friends, and so good to catch up with. Felt like I was going back in time a little bit there. And I went over to Chuck's shed, and right after I left the shed, what happened? Oh, a nice big fluffy coyote sort of sauntered by the bird feeder there, bird bath and bird feeder. And the coyote just kept on moving in search of fairies, but coyotes cannot catch fairies because coyotes are too slow and fairies are too fast. And so there's a lot of magic that happened around here last evening. So here is the magical and more from yesterday. And more from our Friday noontime. It's only 73 degrees. I'm not even done editing yet. Steve just came in at noon. He's enjoying his brunch. And let's check it out. The clouds just evaporated after that morning altocumulus layer. Brisk breeze from the northeast. The tugboat's coming in. Probably have some more tankers going by this afternoon. Going to be a lighter editing day. Anything would be a lighter editing day than all the time lapse from Thursday. Rex just wants to go for a walk. We'll go for a walk. I'm almost done editing, Rex. It's so nice out. Good job not barking at the people walking by. It's green. You gonna take us for a leisurely walk, T-Rex? Yeah. Where are we going? Into the sun. Oh yeah. Chrysanthemum. Not yet, Tim. Not yet. Oh, finest kind. What a day. Another nice weekend shaping up for the most part. That'll be our 7th in a row. Is that right, Rex? 7 nice weekends in a row? Savoring summertime.
Double shot weekend kicks off right now with Live at 5.
Temple Street, Duxbury, live at 5.
This weekend in 1986.
73 degrees.
Significant place in Def Leppard history. 2 years prior, drummer Rick Allen had lost his arm in a nasty car wreck. Never mind the fact he didn't think he was going to play drums again. He didn't think the band was going to even continue on, but they did. And the Monsters of Rock Festival took place this weekend back in '86 in Castle Donington. It marked the triumphant return of the Thunder God's rightful place behind the drum throne.
What a story. What a band. Saw them maybe at the Cape Cod Coliseum. Beautiful. Traffic waves are tough, but such is life. June of 1981, I had just graduated high school. Cape Cod Tech and Def Leppard played at Cape Cod Coliseum, and TK was there. The swamp has a little bit of water in it. Not a lot. I think this was between the areas of downpours yesterday. I believe we've been listening to these same bands now for 40 plus years. They're still around. Stones now, 60 years, right? About a mile and a half back up. Kind of typical. Rent out the house here now for 20 years plus, and the first half of August is the most in demand. It used to be July, but not so much anymore. And late August used to be in demand, but now I think the kids are playing their sports before school even opens in the middle of August. So the rental price goes down and the volume goes down. So good time to start thinking about a getaway to Cape Cod in the shoulder season. Oh, did I mention WeNeedAVacation.com, property 6172? Sorry for the foggy lens there. Breeze from the north, 72 degrees. About 8 minutes in line. It's all good. Air from the north. Traffic wave attenuating a little bit. I'm gonna make the shed. It's the goal. Going by the old Cape Cod Coliseum we just talked about. Parallel to White's Path on Route 6, just about to Bass River. I spy some stratocumulus clouds. A lot of times when the air comes in from the southeast, so do those clouds. That happened last night. And we'll see in the time lapse in a couple minutes how those stratocumulus evaporated with the heating of the sun. And if it does happen again tonight, I expect them also to evaporate on our heating of the sun. Saturday Dennis again. Has it been 48 hours? Bass River. Not going to the shed though. I hear there's something going on at Liberty Hall. You ever been to Liberty Hall in Dennis? Very historic. Parking could be a bit of a challenge, although I think I see a parking spot.
Systems, cancer care can make you feel
Yeah.
like a number.
Can you see Liberty Hall right there?
Cancer care, you're more than a diagnosis. We offer
Been here in 100 years. Well, it's been here 100 years, but I am. Here we are at this very old and historic corner here, Old Bestford Road and High Bank, and there is the Liberty Hall in South Dennis. There's a lawn party barbecue next Sunday, 11:30 to 2, live music. Baker and Downs General Store and Post Office, 1844. Liberty Hall, second floor, 1865. Dennis Historical Society. Are we allowed inside? Oh yeah, let's go. Magical Lives of Fairies, poems by Sherri Stockdale, illustrated by Barbara Domenicucci. And there they are, all the people I grew up with right inside of here. How funny. Sherri wrote a book of poems. Congratulations. This starts it all. Hi. Hi, I'm just making videos of us, that's all. The funny thing is that there are actually real fairies in here. Oh, what a magical place. Yeah, I know that look. Okay. The camera's pointed over there now.
You're going to get your fairy wand.
And I'm getting an autographed copy from the author.
So you want, like, let's say August 15th, 2025?
Yep. The Magical Lives of Fairies. Poems by Sherri Stockdale, illustrated by Barbara. How do you say Barbara's last name?
Domenicucci.
Domenicucci. What a fun name. I like always starting at the back. Look at that.
Weather?
The weather today was sunny and 74 degrees. Finest kind, as your dad and Mr. Ahern would once say. Finest kind. Pussy Willow Pillow Fight. A favorite game of the Woodland Sprite is a Pussy Willow Pillow Fight. It starts with a sleepless, mischievous child.
You had some experience with that.
And so how long does it take someone to write a book of
This is
poems?
what happened. So Barbara is the mother of my best friend, and she and I went back and forth like one whole winter and spring. Chrissy would send a picture that Barbara did, and I would write a poem for it, or I'd write the poem, and Chrissy would share it with Barbara, and then she would do the art for it. So it was like back and forth, like for months and months and months. And actually, this illustration right here. She completed this illustration the night that she passed away.
Oh my goodness.
She did this drawing, and then she went to bed.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
That was her image of...
Yeah, this is the last painting she did.
That's beautiful. I'm so happy that I took her right off the exit ramp this evening and ran into you. It's been so long. Thank you, Sherri. Oh, this is fun. And all the art on the wall are the original illustrations from Barbara, the illustrator. And they're all over the place. And one of them, I think this one was found just before the publication came out at the house where she used to live in Florida. More and more and more. Let's go watch the sunset. And in case you were wondering, yes, I do believe in fairies. There's been a lot of magic happening right here. Some people I haven't seen in 20, 30, 40 years. So grateful to grow up in such a wonderful community. Got some Eagles music playing, some stratocumulus coming in from the southeast. I just gave some forecasts of some fog early in the day burning off, and we'll turn around and watch the sunset as I play some. Well, look at the shape of this Montauk, perfectly groomed Montauk. This is going to be the best one in Dennis. We're going to have to come back here in September. So we're going to play it out now with a time lapse from first Bass River. That's where we are, pretty much on Bass River, and then Weymouth. And I'm going to read what this says. Dedicated to all men and women of the village of South Dennis who served in the armed forces of our country. Wonderful flagpole way up there. And the time lapse from Weymouth. Early gray turned blue. Luciano was out there grooming a little bit. No, it was somebody else in the excavator. Can't see him, right? Farm workers were down there. We got a fairy sighting. Several fairies being sighted. Hi. There they go. And here we go. Thanks for the tip, Chuck. Coming over to the shed. More.